What is up, everybody? Back here, I'm just recording this right after UFC 311 just ended, and Islam Makhachev and Still. We're just gonna go with the first fight, or the main event fight first, and then I'm gonna talk about the other fights later. But let's just start with Islam versus Moicano. I mean, this was very much a big mismatch in my opinion. I already knew this before. I thought, Moicano was gonna have some moments, and he definitely did have some moments. He did land some good shots in Islam, but I did say that the wrestling was going to give him a lot of struggle, and, Moicano he's just never gone up against anyone like Islam. Islam is a whole different level, and based on the opponents Moicano has fought compared to who Islam has fought, it's like, this was a very big mismatch, and we saw that Islam submitted him very easily. Once he got that takedown, it was pretty much just all wraps for Moicano. I was thinking maybe he could survive by the end of the round, but he was able to get that choke in, get the darce, I thought maybe Moicano's grappling was going to maybe defend that, but Islam's grappling is just better, and I think for that reason, Islam, I think this is really just like a useless fight, to be honest, just because Moicano really was taking this on short notice, and Moicano honestly was a very big mismatch for Islam. This is kind of just reminded me of the Charles Oliveira fight, except Charles Oliveira is really good and could defeat Islam, but Moicano was just a worse version of Charles Oliveira, and we saw that, and Islam was able to submit him easily, I think, it would have been different with Arman. Obviously, Arman would have put up a hell of a fight and could have won, but, Arman pulled out, and he got a very easy matchup, got an easy title defense. Kind of reminds me of the Pereira versus Roundtree fight. Although that fight wasn't really easy for Pereira, it was just very much a mismatch, just because Pereira was coming there injured and sick, but Islam wasn't. So, Moicano, I like Bunny Moicano, but there was just no chance that he was ever going to win that. And, I mean, we got to talk about the big, we got to talk about Merab, We got to talk about Merab and the fact that he literally, he beat Umar. He beat Umar. He made Khabib look stupid. And when I mean he made Khabib look stupid, he made Khabib panic. Let's be for real, bro. He made Khabib look hopeless in there. And, I mean, not Khabib, like Umar. I keep saying Khabib. Actually, he made Umar look hopeless. And the first two rounds, Umar was doing good. He had some moments. He did get a takedown on Merab. But Merab, he doesn't get tired. He was not really threatened in those first two rounds, and barely Umar was able to get the first round. And Merab, after round three, it was clear that Umar was gassing. Umar was just tired, and it's just weird because Umar thought he won the fight, which is it's just blasphemy. That's just weird. That's just weird. And I mean, here we can see right here he submitted him with a darce choke, but. Crazy stuff, man. I mean, Umar, he put up a fight. He had a lot of heart, and he was definitely, although he was getting overwhelmed and he was getting taken down a lot and he was getting outstruck. Umar was still fighting. He was still giving that heart, but Umar just could not handle Merab, and Merab proved everyone wrong. He proved everyone wrong, for sure. But I mean, this first pay-per-view was really good. I mean, we saw some entertaining fights. Honestly, that main event was disappointing. Just because, not even due to Islam or Moicano's fault. It was neither of their faults. It was just that. I mean, we deserved to get a good main event between Arman and Islam, but we got Moicano versus Islam, and it was just a mismatch. And, Ilie Topuria called out Islam. I don't think Islam should fight another featherweight. Again, just move him up to welterweight and have him fight a real welterweight and get him exposed. But, I mean, it's crazy. He humiliated a ton of... I think Umar got humiliated in that fight, and I'm so glad to see. Umar was talking a ton of shit. He was talking so much shit in that fight, and I was the only person... probably one of the only people who was saying that Merab was going to win that fight, and that Merab was too much for Umar, and I got that exactly right. And you know what? I bet on Umar. I got so much money, bro. I won 500 from that. So yeah, trust my picks. I always know what's right. But anyways, let's talk about the Yuri fight. The Yuri fight was really good. The Yuri versus Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill was definitely putting up a fight. In round 2, he won. But I think Yuri's power and, I think his defense has improved. Although he does use his chin and he was just taking shots in, his head movement improved so much. And Jamal Hill was not able to catch him with any clean shots. I think Jamal Hill was just way too stuck, way too technical, and just wasn't, he just wasn't able to handle Yuri's pressure. And I think Yuri just has good power. He proved himself to be something different, and for sure, I mean, he put in a ton of effort, man. He put in a ton of effort. He knocked him out. He knocked Jamal Hill out. I mean, yeah, something special, man. Something special. Oh yeah, and TikTok just got banned, so yeah, but Umar getting his first loss. I mean, that is something to be seen, Umar, very overhyped, in my opinion. I thought him being a minus 260 favorite going into this fight was just bullshit. And thank God, we finally got to see just how much undeserving Umar was of a title shot. Peter Yan deserved that title shot. And it's nice to see Merab, silence the haters, But yeah, and apart from that, I think, let's check. I mean, we saw Jailton Almeida get a TKO on Sergey Spivak. I mean, Almeida called out Gane, which I'm very interested to see that matchup. He did get TKO'd by Curtis Blades, but honestly, I think Curtis Blades just got really lucky in that fight. He just got really lucky. He had a good precision. Almeida messed up, but I just think that Almeida won't make that mistake again. So I'm very interested to see Almeida fight against Gane. Gane's wrestling isn't really that good. I think Almeida would beat Gane, and honestly, I just don't want Gane to win anymore. After that humongous robbery, I don't want him to win. But Reinier de Ridder was the performance that surprised me the most. Everyone was counting him out just because, his performance against GM3 wasn't really convincing. But he won. He got the takedown. I did say that Kevin Holland's takedown defense was a bit suspect. But, he did take him down. He submitted him pretty easily, round 1 submission. And let's go to, I think one of the biggest upsets in the fight was definitely Peyton Talbot versus Rowney Barcelos. Barcelos was a plus 750 underdog going in this fight. And he 30-27 to Peyton Talbot. He landed the better strikes. And he took him down 8 times. I mean, it was just... It was crazy stuff. We saw a lot of people lose their O's, Zachary Reese got knocked out. Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Alicana was a very weird fight. Just because I think Billy Alicana just gave up. Honestly, I don't blame him. He was getting pummeled. So, Grant Dawson, he delivers another signature win. Almost 200 strikes landed. I mean, that's crazy. Very crazy. And, we saw Rinya Nakamura get his first loss. And we saw Peyton Talbot get his first loss. And now we see Umar get his first loss. So, that's something. I mean, a lot of people were saying Umar won this fight. I mean, let me see. I mean, there was reports of him. There was a lot of reports from Ali Abdulaziz. But this is him. His broken hand. It is a bit swollen up, so I maybe think there might have been some sprain or something. But honestly, it doesn't really explain that much, to be honest. It really does not explain that much. Just because Merab didn't barely win. He dominated him for 3 rounds. And, yep, this is Merab's freaking last 5 wins. Crazy shit. Oh, no, the last 6 wins. Crazy stuff, man. Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley, and Umar Nurmagomedov. I mean, former champ, and undefeated Nurmagomedov trained from Khabib. I mean, crazy. And oh yeah, I might make a separate video on this just because. Yeah, a lot of people coping. I mean, defending 20 takedowns should count. I guess. Like, it should definitely have some merit if it was a really close fight and if Umar was outstriking him. But it was clear that Merab was still taking him down. So, yeah, but yeah, Khabib is I mean, there's Usman, I guess, but honestly, I don't think Usman's that good. I think Paul Hughes might expose Usman. I'm just gonna say that Paul Hughes might expose him. And yeah, I mean, I was on edge for that Merab fight just because I was just worried, Umar might score a lucky takedown. And yeah, I mean, Sean O'Malley, I think he's gonna get that rematch against Merab next. But I'd really love to see a Peter Yan rematch, just because I think Peter Yan's just getting better and better. He's kind of entering his prime now after that star performance he had against Figueiredo and Song Yadong. I mean, I think that warrants a rematch. I'm tired of giving undeserved title shots. I don't want to see number 10 guys and one title ranked guys getting I'm tired of that. I'm tired of undeserved title shots. At least we're getting a bit better. Sean Strickland got the title shot next, which honestly I don't think is undeserved. I think Khamzat was the more undeserved title shot. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, for sure, very good fight. Yeah, I might just talk about that Pereira Ankalaev announcement in another video, just because, why not? But yeah, I will. But yeah, very good fight. For who I think Islam should face next, for who I think Merab face next, I think Peter Yan. Peter Yan is the most deserving contender right now. Two win streak right now, defeated number 7, number 8, and number 5. For sure, he's defended his ranking. I think he deserves that next title shot. I don't think Sean O'Malley does, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Sean O'Malley just because he was a former champ, and we want to see that rematch, fully healed. And I think the fight would be different, but yeah, humiliated him. I mean, this is an image that will be reigning forever. He humbled Umar. I mean, that's just crazy. He humiliated Umar, and yeah, for sure, this was a good card. If I were to rate this card, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I'd give it. It's a very solid start to this year. I think it's a way better start than what 297 had. Although 297 did have a fire main event and everything else sucked. But yeah, very solid start. We got some entertaining fights. We got to see some records getting broke. I think Merab broke the takedown record. I think he did. He broke the takedown record, which is really it's surprising. He now has the most takedowns in the UFC. So that's nice. And Islam is also at a 15-fight win streak, which is he's the second largest win streak. I think if he wins one more, he'll tie with Anderson Silva for sure. But man, very good fight, very good fights, very good pay-per-view. Although the main event could have been better, it was nice to see Moicano, step up, get that title shot, and he put up a fight, on the feet. But Islam is just too good. So yeah. Anyways, I'll talk about that Pereira thing in the next video.